Hey friends, welcome to Chime Coaching. Rob here. In this video, we've got a student who came straight from their undergrad to do their master's here in America, had no work experience, and against all odds during the pandemic, still got an internship. So grab some chai and join us and learn how to get internships here in America. Friends, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm really excited about this video. There's so much great, helpful information you're going to learn, especially about how to get jobs and internships here in the States. Firdous, she came straight from undergrad, came from a different background, but still managed to get an awesome internship. And so, yeah, Firdous, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Firdous Fatima. I am currently pursuing my master's in information technology and management at UTD. I completed my undergrad from India in Manipal University, Jaipur, and my degree was electronics and communication engineering. So I graduated in 2019, and then I decided to move to the United States in 2019 of June.
Awesome. And Firdous, you have switched your focus of studies, right? So what are you studying now?
I'm studying information technology and management. I had taken electronics and communication before, and I had taken a few electives in programming. So I did have a little bit of interest in that field. So I decided, IT and management, it's a bit of, it's a mix of both. It's a bit of management and IT, so.
Great. Well, thanks so much for coming and sharing on Chime Coaching. We love helping people in their cross-cultural journeys, and your story is going to be really impactful. So first of all, let's discuss just what are the advantages and disadvantages of having work experience, especially when you're doing your job search?
So definitely there is a really big advantage to having work experience. Hiring managers, they definitely want to see that you've done something in the past. And especially if it's relevant to the position that you're looking for, if it's relevant to what the employees to the role for which the employees that they're looking for, definitely work experience is important for them. And I don't think that it's really a disadvantage to not have work experience, but when you're competing with all these people who have worked for years and years in one particular field, and they're looking for a job over here or an internship over here in the same domain, they definitely do have an edge over the others. So it does make sense to hire someone who has had years and years of experience. So.
No, you're right. I agree. You don't need work experience, but it totally helps.
Yeah.
So you were in a tough situation. You didn't have work experience. You came straight from undergrad. You changed your field of study. So let's talk about the things you did to adjust your lessons learned. What was one of the big first changes you had to do to give yourself a shot at getting an internship?
So I think I would say I had to be on my feet since the day I landed. Now, I don't want to encourage people to get super stressed right after they come here, but I just want freshers to be mindful that it's going to be tough. It's tough for people with years of experience to land an internship or a job. So you can tell that you're in a tough spot and you're going to have to work a lot harder compared to them. So I think one of the things that I did, it was a process for me. The first thing that I kind of thought about and the first step that I took was to actually get an on-campus job. Now, an on-campus job is not really relevant to the position that you would be looking for in the future, but definitely it counts towards your personal growth. And the reason why I say that is because the moment I joined my on-campus job, I was surrounded by my coworkers who were so culturally diverse. They were from America, they were from Asia, they were from Iran, and it was, I got to learn a lot from them. And somewhere during this entire period, I was learning from them. And I don't think 9 out of 10 times they're not going to judge you. They know that you've come from a different country, and they know that you probably don't understand the conversations that they're probably having, and you probably cannot relate to them, but they're going to help you grow along with them. They're going to actually clarify how these things work and how Americans work, how the lingo is over here. So that definitely helps.
And what was your on-campus job?
Mine was a computer. I was a computer lab assistant. So that was a blissful time. Honestly, I just, every morning, I would just wait to go to my on-campus job. So I really had fun there. We used to hang out after our shifts. And I think that was the starting point for my personal growth in the United States. So it's not like that I got any referrals through them, but it definitely helped me in the long run.
Yeah, and that's where you can develop your soft skills, which are so important. In America, I say, your technical skills might get you the interview, but soft skills get you the job. It's about your people skills, your communication skills, and if you can't relate and talk to Americans, it's going to be hard to get a job. And an on-campus job, like you said, is one of the best ways to do that. And so you were gaining very valuable experience, even though it was a job that maybe wouldn't pertain to your internship. So I love that example.
Some of the things that I also kind of had in my mind was, since I come from a different major, I did not really have enough to show which is relevant to the roles that I would be applying for in the future. So I kind of decided to take some of the important courses that could land me a job in the future. And this I did in the first semester itself. So most students, they go for taking the prerequisites and some core courses. Mm-hmm. I kind of added an elective along with that. And that elective was really important. So I knew that after those 6 months of finishing that elective, I could add that to my resume, and it could definitely help me in my job search.
And which elective was that?
So I took data visualization in my first semester. It's just, I did not have to, I could have taken it in my second semester or my third semester. It was not a prerequisite, but I knew that if I just get it over with, I could get an internship in the data analyst field. And after 6 months, I could have something on my resume to show. Yeah,
it makes you more marketable. That's great. I love that idea. Yeah. So let's talk about your resume. Now, especially without much work experience, you might feel like your resume's, not as good or needs some more stuff. What were some of the lessons you learned, and how did you adjust your resume to market and brand yourself well?
So I would say that I did have work. I took some internships in my undergrad, but they were obviously not that relevant. So, but I did highlight those. I kind of participated in certain competitions in my first semester as well, which was relevant to the roles that I was planning to apply for. And I think what I did was that in the beginning itself, I started doing the application process for the internships. And I don't really discourage students to do that. I do encourage people to network more as opposed to applying online, but I still feel—
I totally agree.
Definitely. I still feel that applying online is important in such a way that it's going to give you a feedback on your resume. If you're being ghosted by your recruiters, if you're getting rejections, if you are going to get disappointed a lot of times, but it's okay. First 1 year it's just a process. It's a process towards you growing. You have 1 year to get an internship. So you have 6 months, good amount of time to work towards your resume and work towards applying online so you can get that feedback. Meanwhile, I think it's a good idea to network and talk to people, engage with people, so you know that by the time you're trying to get a job and by the time you are looking and hunting for positions and roles, you would already have a good network. So applying online is not something that I discourage. I don't say that it's good to get an internship or a job, but it's definitely good to give you a feedback. Once you start receiving phone calls for interview, there is no certainty that you're still going to get that internship, but you would at least know that your resume went through. You'd at least know that your your resume reached the recruiter. So that's
good feedback. Totally. No, I like that perspective. Yeah, don't count on applying online as getting the job, but use that as more feedback that shows that you and your resume are in a good place. Then when your network is working for you, when you start getting those referrals, then you know you're a solid candidate.
Exactly.
I love it. So you talked a little about when to start and how that preparation process, part of it starts from day one, part of it, you have those several months of working, building, testing, it's a process, you just don't, oh, I need a job, I'm going to start, and it's going to, you slowly build and get better and better and better. And do you have any other just kind of lessons learned or failure examples that would help other people to kind of share in your journey?
I think interacting with seniors. Seniors are going to be your saviors. Mm-hmm. And I do strongly believe that throughout my process. I don't think there's going to be any senior who would deny to help you. In some way or the other, seniors are going to help you, and they have experience, they've been through what you are going to go through. So they would be the perfect examples and the perfect people to actually look up to. So yeah, seniors definitely.
That's great. That's good. Yeah, learn from the people who've gone before you. So real quick, our chai question for this video is, are you planning to come and study abroad straight from your undergrad? So let us know in the comments if you're just like Firdous, who came straight from undergrad, or if you've done that or you're planning to come, not get that work experience in between. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to see who else is going to be kind of in that situation. So Firdous, maybe any just final tips that you want to share in your approach to getting an internship in your unique situation?
Don't get demotivated. A lot of students do get demotivated just by thinking that they don't have work experience. Every story is different. Every person is different. You are not going to know where you stand unless you keep trying and trying. Another thing is neither underestimate yourself nor overestimate yourself when you're looking for internships and job. If you know that you have no experience, then definitely lay a bit low. There's nothing wrong in dreaming big, but know that with your background, it's better to lay low and maybe figure out where you stand. Also, don't underestimate yourself. Know what positions you're looking for. That's going to help you in the long run. If you're going to end up doing an internship that does not interest you, and if you don't plan to get a job or have a career in that role, it doesn't really make sense to apply for that. Work experience definitely helps. If that's your last resort, then definitely go for it. But don't underestimate yourself by thinking, oh, you cannot really do this just because you don't have work experience. You certainly can. Just come up with different strategies. You know yourself the best. These tips can help you much, but in the end, you know what works best for you.
Yeah. And how did it feel when you actually got that internship offer?
Oh, amazing. I was on cloud nine. I did have this feeling at the back of my head that it could be harder for me to get an internship, just like most students have that feeling that fly here without work experience. And especially at the times of pandemic, I kind of applied for a health company. So that's one strategy that I kept in mind when I was applying. Situations change, your situation could change, and now with the pandemic that happened, I think you need to go a different route. Instead of blindly applying, it's actually best to pick and choose, because a lot of companies, they're just posting and they're not really hiring. I'm sure you must have seen a lot of posts on LinkedIn, but those are not really real jobs. So it's best to be picky. It's not gonna help you. You might feel good by applying to 1,000 companies, but you might not hear back from them ever.
Yeah, can be a big waste of time.
Yeah. So strategy goes a long way. In the end, I got my internship maybe around May or June, and that's when the pandemic was going on. So it made sense to apply for health companies or the companies that you were sure are hiring. So it's best to just, play safe and not really waste your time.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. And we're going to be making another video as well. Firdous is going to share about her internship experience working this summer. And so be sure to check that out. There'll be some fun lessons learned there. And Firdous, thanks so much. I've learned so much. This is a super helpful and just encouraging story. I think people can be very demotivated if they don't have those special advantages, but you overcame a lot of odds and then throw a pandemic on top of it. And it's still possible to get internships. So hopefully this will encourage and give other people some hope, which I'm excited for. And so everyone, if this was helpful, give a big like, thumbs up to say thanks to Firdous for hanging out and sharing her amazing story. Yeah, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
And don't forget to subscribe to China Coaching. We really want to help you guys succeed in your cross-cultural journeys. We're going to keep putting out helpful content, answering your guys' questions and your big concerns, and connect with us online as well. We'll keep, trying to help answer your questions as we can. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time at China Coaching. Cheers.